Today I'm going to show you how Andrew, the Airbnb nerd, generates $7,500 a month on one property using Airbnb. Guys, so Andrew right here, the Airbnb nerd, owns 4 Airbnbs that generate multiple 6 figures every year and property manages over 20. So we're gonna tell you what's the good and what's the bad and how to make the most out of your Airbnb.
Welcome.
Wow. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. This, to me, screams Airbnb. So I remember we were talking earlier, you said the properties have to be Instagrammable.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I mean, it's about like, you're fighting for eyeballs, right? Like,
yeah.
You gotta get somebody to stop swiping. You know, you do a lot of content, you guys know what that takes to get somebody to stop and watch your stuff. It's the same thing with Airbnb. Scrolling through thousands of properties, you know, maybe they just wanna be in the hill country, right? It could be a huge swath of like properties they're looking at. Why yours? Like, how are you gonna get them to stop?
Right, so like for instance, right here, the different colored chairs, the I love tacos sign.
Yeah.
What else about the details can you show me about this house?
Well, I mean, so when we bought the house, you'll probably see it later, but you know, there's a big mural out back with like some kind of Fiesta Sugar Skulls thing going on.
That was there already?
That was already there,
okay.
And we loved it. And we're like, hey man, this house is downtown. Like, let's just keep that theme going. So my wife was like, yeah, we're doing Fiesta colors, like a lot of pops of color. And so we just kind of kept running with that whole thing. It was like Sugar Skull was like the whole theme.
Gotcha.
Just ran with that.
Sugar Skull.
Yeah.
Okay. So the data shows the Airbnb is on the decline, right?
Yeah.
So in your opinion, what makes the difference between a successful Airbnb, highly profitable, and a dud?
I mean, like anything else, like there's obviously like a lot of nuance and layers to that, but I mean, the first thing is always location. There's certain areas that are going to be more desirable, and like over the long run, you can't make up for that after a certain amount of time. So location's really critical. Next thing is like, what kind of people are you going after? We like to target like families or large gatherings. I prefer big houses. So like 4 or 5 bedrooms. This is a small house for having as many bedrooms as it has, but like, yeah, I prefer a 4 or 5 bedroom home because you get this economy of scale with the number of people you can sleep. Once that's divvied out over, you know, 2, 3 families, it's suddenly not that expensive to pay, you know, anywhere from $500, $600, $700 a night. It's not that much anymore when it can sleep 3 families. And then, yeah, just kind of like we'd already spoken about, you know, design. Like in the end, like you can have the most beautiful house in the greatest location, but like if the photos don't look good, if it doesn't look inviting, if the design inside the house is not good, it doesn't matter. You can spend a lot of money on a house to not get people to end up renting it.
Gotcha. So one thing that I do like about this house is the colors, and I like how just different it looks. The pool outside is different for sure. And this looks like it's not as expensive as an in-ground pool. So I want to talk about that.
All right, yeah, let's talk about it, man.
So in order to make $7,500 a month, that's not a light chunk of change. Like you need to be charging like $350 a night or so, right?
Yeah.
So in order to reach those kind of numbers like per night, what are the type of amenities you think that are needed for something like that?
I mean, I love pools, so I prefer to buy a house that has an in-ground pool to begin with. If not, you know, we got these cowboy pools, that's what we call them. That's actually a brand, but this is just a stock tank. You can buy these things from like Tractor Supply and put this in for not that much money.
How much are you looking at for something like this?
So this was a pretty high-end version of this. This whole setup, including like getting a gas line run, electrical, all the stuff that comes with it, was about 11 grand.
11 grand.
That said, you can put it together without a heater, without some of the more expensive like gizmos and gadgets that I put on it, for like $2,300, $2,500.
Okay, yeah. But so you're saying, man, so 2,500 to 11 grand, you spent an extra almost 10 grand almost to make it heated.
Yeah.
And I remember you were telling me, what's the difference between heated and non-heated on renting this place out for like the whole year?
Yeah, I mean, there's like 4 or 5 months out of the year, if not a little bit longer here, where it's a little too chilly to get in a non-heated pool.
Yeah. So
like now you just got this like expensive amenity, even if you only paid, you know, $2,000, $3,000 for it, or if it's a real pool, you know, you might be $50,000, $100,000 into it. You got this giant thing that like you can't use. Nobody's going to use it. So you're just another 5-bedroom house now, just another 4-bedroom house. Having that heater on it now, like my rates get to stay high during the winter, my occupancy gets to stay high during the winter. So I mean, I'll make up that extra 10 grand like in no time.
So it's safe to say it's a good investment?
That's a phenomenal investment, yeah.
All right, guys, so that's a golden tip right there. So you can put in something like this in your Airbnb, have it a pool heated year round. That's gonna separate you from, I would say, 99% of the competition, and have your thing just booked all year. So write that gym down if you're looking to do an Airbnb.
If you like this house, dude, we got a 7-bedroom that we're working on right now. We're projecting that one to do about $200,000 a year in revenue. Wow. Want to check it out?
Right here down the street?
Yeah, it's not far.
Yeah, let's go. Getting the paint started on this one?
Finally, man, finally. This thing's been ugly for a long time, brother.
Yeah, I've seen it. So funny story, guys, before we even walk in, I actually wholesaled this house a year ago to some investors in Austin, and then it ended up in your hands. I guess you bought it off them.
Yeah, my realtor actually brought me the lead. He loves historic houses, and he was like, dude, I think I got a great Airbnb. Brought me by here. I didn't quite see it at first, actually. It took me about a week to like kind of come to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were some guys that were going to do just like a pretty standard flip on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, oh, you know what? I think this is what I'm looking for. It looks like the right kind of house, and I jumped in on it.
It's a small world, guys. I sold this house. When we pulled up, I was like, this is crazy. So tell me, man, look, guys, what I want to show you, you know what you get on our channel. You get the real, raw, authentic truth. Yeah, man. So what I want to show you about this one is things don't always go right when you're remodeling houses. Is that right?
100%.
So tell me a little bit about the bad of this house.
I mean, just about everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong, right? You know, my first contractor, like way overpromised and couldn't deliver, stole some money from me, lost about $30,000 from the contractor up front, which, you know, I'm still trying to build a pretty young business. It was a big hit. It was 30 grand. I didn't really have to,
it's a lot of money
to lose.
Yeah.
And then firing him, you know, had a big delay on the project. Found out that we had to replace the whole sewer line out to the back of the house. Found tons of rotten framing and you know, just 100-year-old house kind of problems that, you know, I was probably a little too...
a little green.
Yeah, it was a little green for this kind of project. It was way bigger than what I should have bitten off, but
like I was telling you, like your skill level and your resilience just went up 10 times as an investor. Yeah. Nothing will phase you anymore.
I'm learning, man. I'm learning. I'm wearing the licks.
So there you go, guys. Not everything goes as planned in remodeling. I can guarantee you that. So when you're getting into remodeling and investing, make sure you put some of this into consideration. You're gonna find things sometimes that you didn't plan on happening. Yeah. He found a sewer line where he had to break through concrete to go all the way to the backyard. That was a $10,000 expense that wasn't calculated. And just like that, his contractor is really important, picking the right contractors, right? Yeah. So I just want y'all to be aware of what really goes down. You're not gonna get this on HGTV, all right? So make sure, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because we're gonna teach you way more than any other channel will show you, I promise. All right, man, so I know you were telling me that you're supposed to cash flow after expenses about $90,000 on this house per year.
Yep.
That's amazing, man. That's like a salary of a well-educated person, right?
Man, it's wild, yeah. I can't believe that I'm able to generate that kind of stuff off Airbnbs.
Off of one property?
One house.
So for the viewers, man, can you tell us a little bit about the numbers? How much did you buy the house for? How much are you paying in repair costs? And what is the rental per day looking like? Yeah, man, so yeah, originally, you know, we paid $265,000 for the house. Mm-hmm. We financed it with a hard money loan. I think I'm into it for like $48,000 down. Mm-hmm. Rehab budget originally was $210,000. Due to overages and all kinds of other stuff, we've changed the scope a lot. We're now looking at $350,000. Wow. So huge overrun on the budget. And we're over schedule, so it's more expensive than what we wanted to be. More hard money payments.
Yeah, baby.
10 extra of those is 30 grand.
But when we're done, the house should be worth about 800. We should be into it for roughly 600. So we'll be able to do a cash out refinance and get, you know, most, if not all of our investment back, or our initial cash back, so that we can go do it again. But you know, the main thing is revenue with this house, right? So we let the budget go over for a reason. We decided to put in a pool. It wasn't originally part of the plan. But the pool is the difference between this house making $120,000 a year and making $200,000 a year. So spending 70 on a pool suddenly doesn't seem like that big of a deal. I'll get that money back. It also is going to boost the value.
Oh, you're putting an underground, in-ground pool.
Proper pool.
Ah, yeah. Interesting. So for the viewers that don't understand what a cash out refi is, what does that mean?
Yeah, so it means like I put a certain amount of money into the property at this point, and based on the after repair value, the ARV, I'm going to be able to go back to the bank and say, hey, now that this is worth $800,000, I'd like to get a loan for 75% of the value, so I still have 25% equity, and then that 75% should be equal to like my total all-in cost on the property. So
you're gonna pay off your lien, and then you're gonna get back whatever you put into the property.
So yeah, I think the hard money loan, like total is like $427,000, but I'm gonna go get a loan for $600.
Tax free.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna get back, what essentially has been, a good chunk of that budget overrun on my side, right? So I kind of get a lot of that rehab money back, which gives me once again like cash liquid to go
do it again.
Find something maybe a little less crazy, but or maybe something, I don't know, maybe I'll do better on the second one with a little more experience.
And so what do you call that term again?
Airbnb, baby.
I like that. Man, so this right here is very, very unique. You don't see this anymore, like at all.
I mean, this is what made us fall in love with the house. All the other stuff seemed like really daunting, but I was like, man, you just don't see this anymore. Yep. Nobody builds this into a house.
So this has to be historic.
100%, yeah. This house is built in the 1930s, and age isn't the only qualifier. It's in a historic district of San Antonio.
Right. So for the viewers, a historic property, when you remodel them, it's a whole different animal, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the hurdles that you have to go through for a historic house?
So the big thing is if you're in a historic district, there is a San Antonio historic commission that has to approve all of your design, particularly on the exterior of the house, right? They don't really care what goes on the inside of the house, but they do have to bless, windows. If you want to change the door style, if you need to replace windows, you can't really replace them. They have to be these old style, rebuilt wooden door or wooden windows. So everything that starts to touch the outside of the house turns into something that has to be blessed by them.
Siding, architecture, everything has to remain in the 1920s, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've done one remodel like that, and it was a pain. It takes a long time to get approved. The holding costs stack up, just everything, guys. So if you are looking to renovate a house, guys, and you see that it's in the historic neighborhood in San Antonio, we have brown signs. That's a way to identify it here real easily. Just make sure you know what you're getting into, because the cost is a little bit more because you have to go through an extra approval process. So just remember that and keep that in mind for your budget, all right? Live action, baby, we really do this. We got the workers out here, we got the contractors. We're out here in 104 degrees, San Antonio, Texas, summer 2023, putting in this work. So if you see us sweating, we're doing it for y'all.
Stay to the right.
Don't fall.
So this to me is the golden child, like the pinnacle of short-term rentals. So, large house, gonna be 7-bedroom total with 5 baths, over 4,000 square feet. It's gonna be able to sleep like 22 to 25 people. So,
wow, 20 to 25 people.
It's gonna be a ton of people, man.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're gonna lay out the room so that we can sleep multiple people. We're doing like built-in bunk beds and one of them downstairs, a pair of built-in bunk beds. So with queens on the bottom, fulls on the top. So like, technically you can sleep like 6+ people in that one room.
Wow.
Like comfortably, we're doing this all like above board and legally. But, and then the amenity side of it, right? We're gonna put in a heated in-ground pool with a spa, hot tub. We're gonna have a cool, like legitimate, like putt-putt golf course. Not like a putting green, like a legitimate, like windmills and like stuff kicking your balls out of the way, like a legit like little.
I cannot wait to see that. I cannot see that.
It's gonna be sick. So
guys, if y'all want a after video of this with all that he just said, drop a comment and let me know. Put the word after on there. I want to see if y'all want this. If we get 20 people to comment, we'll do another video.
You got it. You got it.
All right. So for the viewers, you said the word golden child.
Yeah.
What makes an Airbnb a golden child? Like, what are they looking for?
I mean, the first thing is like, if you're looking for something like this, go look at the market. Like some of the really mature vacation markets, like a lot of the beach markets. People talk about like smoky pool. What is it? Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
In Tennessee, a lot of people have stuff out in the Smoky Mountains out there.
Yeah.
Those are really mature markets, and it's a little harder to stand out there.
Uh-huh.
But if you look at what the top properties out there do, nobody's doing that in San Antonio. And there's actually a significant amount of travel here. So finding a market and then finding a way to be unique in that market is what makes you like stand out. And that's what, it's harder because you don't find comps. Like you might not have something to comp. I'm hoping that we outperform what we're planning to, but you know, you can only do that in a really unique property when you set it up to like provide the guest an experience.
Right. Guys, we're in the attic of 102-degree weather, so we're sweating a little bit. If you see the camera guys, they're putting in work. Let's see here. Be careful. Walk at your own risk. Look, construction sites can get a little dangerous. Imagine falling right here. Look at this. Watch this. Watch this. So don't try this at home.
It's a feature.
All right, man, so we went over just about everything in an Airbnb.
Yeah.
How to make money, what you're looking for to make a high producing Airbnb.
Yep.
Because not all Airbnbs are gonna cash flow a lot of money. I'll be honest with you, I just started in the business. I have about 3. One of them's really good and 2 of them are only making me like 500 bucks a month. And that's not what I'm looking for. So that's why I wanted to get with the expert in the field and learn how to make real money Airbnb, right? $90,000 a year, you can retire off that, especially if you have multiples, right? So Andrew, I really appreciate you for coming on the show, giving the viewers value.
Yeah, man.
Where can they find you?
Yeah, find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at The Airbnb Nerd.
There you go, guys. If y'all really like this video and you got a lot of value, make sure you like, you comment, leave us some comments, guys. Let us know that you're really enjoying this so we can continue to make more. And most importantly, subscribe. If you watched all the way to the end, I wanted to give you a little bonus, all right? So August the 18th, we're gonna be having a free webinar where I'm gonna go over wholesaling and real estate investing. You can go to clutchstudents.com to sign up, and I've got a little special treat for y'all, all right? So I hope you enjoyed the video, and until the next one, stay clutch.